Jim and Abby stood outside the rusted gates of the abandoned St. Augustine Hospital, the most haunted building in America. Once a thriving medical facility, it had been closed for decades after a string of mysterious deaths. Bruce, their team leader and seasoned paranormal investigator, adjusted his equipment, eyes scanning the decrepit structure. They had signed up for Hell Week, 7 days of non-stop investigation inside the hospital. What they didn't know was that they were about to uncover something far darker than restless spirits. "Last chance to back out," Bruce said, smirking. "This place has broken the best of them." Abby shot Jim a nervous look. "I'm not going anywhere," she said, though her fingers trembled as she held the camera. They entered the hospital, the thick smell of decay and mold assaulting their senses. The first day was uneventful, aside from the oppressive atmosphere that seemed to cling to the walls. On the second night, strange things began happening. It started small, a distant whisper echoing through the empty corridors, the sound of footsteps when no one was walking. Jim was the first to see something more. While they were setting up infrared cameras in the old operating room, he caught a glimpse of a shadow darting across the walls. It moved in ways that no person could. He didn't say anything at first, not wanting to spook the others, but when they reviewed the footage later, the shadow was unmistakable. "That's not a ghost," Bruce muttered, pausing the video. "It's too fast, too solid." On the third day, Abby was reviewing some EVP recordings when she heard it, low, guttural laughter. Not human, and not like anything they had ever recorded before. She called Jim and Bruce over, and they listened in silence as the laugh echoed through the speakers, followed by a voice that whispered, "Leave now." Jim's skin prickled with cold. "What is that?" Bruce was unusually quiet. "I don't know, yet." By the fifth day, the activity escalated. Doors slammed shut behind them, objects moved on their own, and Abby woke up with bruises on her arms that hadn't been there the night before. Each night, the laughter grew louder, more menacing. Bruce finally admitted that he suspected they were dealing with something far worse than the spirits of the deceased. "There's something darker here, demonic, maybe." Jim and Abby exchanged nervous glances. They had signed up for ghost hunting, not for an encounter with a demon. Still, they had come this far. Leaving now felt like admitting defeat, and worse, they feared whatever was here wouldn't let them leave so easily. On the final night, everything came to a head. While investigating the morgue in the basement, the lights began to flicker violently. The temperature plummeted, and the laughter returned, deafening this time. The voice spoke again, clearer than before. "You were warned." Suddenly, Bruce was thrown across the room by an unseen force. Abby screamed as Jim rushed to help him, but something was pulling Bruce into the darkness. His body convulsed, his face twisted in terror. "Get out!" he choked before the shadows swallowed him whole. Jim grabbed Abby's hand, and they ran, the sounds of malicious laughter chasing him as they fled the hospital. When they finally reached the gates, the doors slammed shut behind them, as if whatever was inside was satisfied. They never saw Bruce again. Hell Week was over, but Jim and Abby knew that what they had uncovered was far worse than restless spirits. Something ancient, something evil, had been waiting for them in that hospital. And it wasn't done yet.